shit.
Talk to me nice, bro. Talk to me nice. Let's go. Let's go. Episode 12. Let's go. Kick it off for us. Kick it off for us, Mehrdad.
I don't really know what you want me to say. Like, I don't know why you're so happy.
Man, you already know why I'm excited. It's a good week. It's about to be even better week next week. Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's happening next week?
Oh, the conference league.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What team are you guys facing?
Uh, Las. So honestly, I can't even pronounce it.
It
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. It don't matter. It don't matter. We're gonna get the result, and we're gonna move one step forward to a trophy. What team are you guys facing next week?
Real Madrid.
Very nice, very
A,
nice. How
a,
confident?
a
How
real
confident are you?
team.
How confident are you guys feeling?
I'm pretty confident in the first leg.
Really?
In the first leg, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm a bit surprised, right? Because for those who don't know, there was an incident that happened. Just your last game, right? You guys lost a crucial piece, right? I mean,
I mean,
are
we've
you guys
lost
really?
crucial pieces all year and we've still stuck around, whereas City lost one crucial piece and they're fighting for top four.
Mm, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear it.
And then you got Chelsea, who didn't really lose any pieces. They got $1 billion roster, and they're fighting for top four. And at one point, they were sorry, CJ, was it they were in the sorry, what's that thing called? They were in the title race, right? Or was that too? Was that word too big for $1 billion team that can't finish? They were in the title race at one point, right? And now they're in the top four race.
We were
I'm a
we were
little
never in the
confused.
title
And
race.
like
We were never.
squeezing a win against Spurs, and you got this guy like amped like they won the Champions League. Yeah. Like I said,
First off,
there's levels to this, you know? There's levels.
all right, all right. Listen, I'm all for it. I love it. I'm just hoping that come next Tuesday, right? That's when you guys play next Tuesday or Wednesday?
We play Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, we don't play what day do you play? What
Yeah, no, I know you guys don't play
Thursday or
Thursdays.
Friday? CJ, do they play
Yeah,
Thursdays or Fridays? I don't even know anymore. What day does what's that league called? Conference league? Conference?
no, no. Listen. I'm not even here to discuss that, right? I know you guys don't play Thursdays, right? You guys are big boys. You guys got your big boy pants on, right? You guys got a big boy. You signed a big boy sporting director. Okay, so come Tuesday, I'm hoping you guys show the world what levels mean, right? Against a team who, up to this point, really has been consistent in terms of levels and performance, right? In Real Madrid. So I'll be there. Uh,
Are you gonna
Kickoff.
show up before halftime or are you gonna show up after halftime?
No, no, no. Sorry, I won't be there to the game, but I'll be there. I'll watch. I'm gonna
Oh,
watch. I'm
okay,
gonna
okay,
watch. I'm
okay.
gonna make sure I
I
watch
just
the
wanted to
game.
clarify. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, second leg though, I'm hoping all both of you guys are there. Actually, that's what I'm hoping for. Because
Sure, I'll be
second leg.
there.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
there.
All
Second
right,
leg, first leg, I'll be there.
all right. CJ. Right? You agree to that, right? Second leg, you're there, no matter the score line.
Yeah, if you come to the first leg, I'll be at the second leg.
See, he thinks he's clever. He already knows I can't make the first one. But and
I can't make the second one.
wow, wow,
Yeah.
really? All right, all right. Well, we'll see, man. Like, I'm hoping if your team's up, and then you magically show up, right, to the second leg. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. But
Hopefully, you magically show up to both legs. I mean, it would be nice to see you there. It would be nice to have your commitment. Just like on Tuesdays when we play footy in our Tuesday league, it would be nice to have your commitment and actually see you show up on time. But yeah, it is what it is. I won't get my
I
hopes
mean,
up.
all right. We'll talk about that after the pod. But
No. We can air it out right now. We can air it out. It's all good, bro. This is what the people tune in for. They don't care for our ball knowledge. They want to hear us fucking shoot the shit, bro. You haven't even spoken about, like, just
but what? your Brazilian jersey?
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro.
Jeez.
We can air out dirty laundry. So, what time do you usually show up to Tuesday footy?
So the game before that, yeah, I believe I was like, I must have been like 20 minutes early, man.
Mehrdad, ask him if he even showed up this week.
Did you show up this week?
No, I did not. And funny enough, when it was posted in the group, I already gave my answer, ahead of time.
Wait, he gave his answer 20 minutes before the game started.
Oh, no. See, you wish. Now more so like I believe like 48 hours, right, CJ? 48 hours? Right?
Yeah. However, last Sunday when we recorded offline when Mehrdad left, we said, yeah, see you Tuesday. And yeah, see you Tuesday. But, just like the Man United kid, I guess it wasn't caught on recording, right? So I guess it didn't happen.
Ooh.
Man, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. It's a witch hunt.
Blasphemy coming out of CJ's mouth, right?
Listen, almost as blasphemous as you wearing an AC Milan kit. But on a side note,
yo, at least I got football kits to wear. The only football kit you got to wear is Arsenal's kit. So, just be careful, bro. Just be careful. We got the photos. We got the evidence.
That's crazy. And I mean, I don't know if that was a disrespect to Arsenal as a club, the way you said it.
No, it's more of a disrespect to your team that you support, but you have yet to show up in their gear.
Oh, okay. I see. But like I said, right? Listen, I don't gotta prove anything to anyone. I already know where my heart lies, right? Supporting
Your
a
heart
football
lies
club.
with those Febreze bottles.
Yeah, very funny. But a football club, guys, for those at home, right? It's like marriage, you commit, maybe, right? For those that you get the wedding ring, but it's like you don't have to wear the wedding ring. You don't have to, right? So long as you know that you're committed, you show up, you love your club, and that's all that matters. So when people outside are like, "Oh, where's your ring? Where's the wedding ring?" You don't gotta answer to that, because at the end of the day, I know where my heart lies. I know what I signed up for, and I know I'm in it for the long run.
Laurent, respectfully, if you were married and you didn't wear your wedding ring out, your wife would chop your nuts off before you could say no.
No, funny enough. And here's why. Like, it is symbolic, but it's more, there's more to the symbol. Right? That's, like if you just attach it to that ring and whatnot, right? And nothing goes beyond that, then it's all a facade at the end of the day. Right? There are plenty of people that wear the wedding ring, right? But behind closed doors, the marriage is fucking garbage. And so what does it all mean? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We got to remember what's important.
CJ's marriage with Arsenal is garbage because he always wears an Arsenal kit?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, right, that so long as you remember like the important things, right? That's what matters. Despite like the material, the things that you use to represent that. Right? So for me, it's my club is in the Conference League. No one's watching it. Everyone's dissing it up, but I'm there. I watch the games.
So let me ask you straight up. If Arsenal was in the Conference League and Chelsea was in the Champions League, would you not be dissing the Conference League?
No.
Get the fuck!
Oh
wow!
No.
Okay.
Don't do
anyways,
Don't
on that note,
how you gonna ask me a question? You're gonna ask me a question. I answer.
No.
I answer you.
No.
Why would I?
Been the biggest cap of all 12 episodes.
Anyways, we're gonna move on because you clearly can't be honest. Anyways, welcome back.
Wow.
Episode 12.
No. Hold on. Let's cut this for a second. I feel like we need to address this.
This guy said, no.
Yeah. Wheel it back. Pull up. No, man. No. Let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Laurent Piana, don't lie to me, bro. Do not say this with a straight face, okay? Say this with a straight face. You are supporting Chelsea in the Conference League by obligation because your team is in it, therefore you need to watch it, okay? If the roles were reversed, you would be having none of the Conference League. And Chelsea was in Champions League, Arsenal was in Conference League, you'd be having none of it. Let's be honest. For a second, please.
Wait, why? Okay, for one, why would I be watching it, right? If my team isn't in it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Fair enough, but you would be dissing it the same way you give it to
I
you
wouldn't
give
be
it to
dissing it. Why would I diss it?
the same reason why you diss us now when you have like the courage to speak on Arsenal now when Chelsea is nowhere near
Bro,
Arsenal's level. You
do
still
I
banter us.
do I honestly, man, as funny. Okay, I was gonna say, do I diss Liga? Yeah, maybe sometimes. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
but no, but at the end of the day, it's still a professional league. Like it's still a professional league. Yeah, like there's still entertainment value, right? I understand there are teams there that still compete. Some of those teams do make it to certain stages in the Champions League sometimes, right? Monaco, Lyon, right? Teams that have fallen off from the pedigree.
Any other team that you can name aside from Monaco?
Auxerre, Nantes. Yeah, but listen, I can keep going, bro. I can keep going. But my point is, right, that it's like I don't dislike what is it? Turkish you said Mourinho with the whole nose incident, right? That's the Turkish league. You can say, right? Like, do you guys watch the Turkish league? Like, sincerely speaking.
Sincerely speaking, the Galatasaray for like big matches like that, I'll tune in. Yeah, I won't watch the entire game, but I'll tune in for parts of it.
Okay, now I like that you said that because if Arsenal were in the Conference League versus, I don't know, was it like a Real Betis or any? I would watch the Conference League.
But Real Betis is a good team. Like I would still tune in, but like other leagues, yeah, I'll tune in. Like if I see like a Marseille Lyon or if I see a Marseille PSG, I'll try to tune in because those are like big games.
Yeah, so like no, but so to answer,
but
I would tune into the Conference League if
there's away from this because the question that I posed to you, which is full cap, that you would not make fun of Arsenal if the roles were reversed. You definitely would. You definitely would.
Sure.
Look at him drinking the Ashton Hall fucking water, lying through his teeth, bro. You were not in the air for 4 minutes. Chill, bro. We get it. Fuck. So you're still hanging on to the fact that you would not make fun of Arsenal?
No.
All right, man. Okay, Mehrdad.
Okay.
Yeah,
hold on. Wait. Let's put some context to it. Actually, let's put a bit of context. Right?
You should have been a fucking lawyer, bro. The way that you twist shit, man, like
no, but there has to be right. There has to be context to it. Okay, so in our case, why are we in the Conference League?
Because you're shit. You spent $1 billion in your shit.
All right. But what? Like seriously, why are we here today? Right? Like I said, I mentioned this in the previous podcast. Our downfall started when the whole situation with Russia happened, and then we lost our owner. Our owner. From there, it was a domino effect, and we have not found our footing ever since. Okay? There's that. There's also the fact that, funny enough, this is the only trophy we have left to win until we collect all trophies. Like when you kind of look at it that way, it's like, shit. On our build up, we might as well just collect this and then never look at it again. And then
you would hope you never look at it again, but you probably never would have wanted to look at it in the first place, and that's the point. If you ask Chelsea fans a year or two ago, hey, like we're gonna be in the Conference League, whoop-de-doo, like glory days, it's like no, who the hell wants to be in that? Chelsea fans would have said that 2 years ago. Of course
not. Of course not. I'm not saying it's anything to be proud of, right? Like as if I'm playing in the Champions League. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying for a club in our situation where we found ourselves at, right? You got to make do with what you have.
Yeah, but
you're looking to build on that.
Yeah, but respectfully, Laurent, your argument is a little flawed in itself because you're saying that you guys lost everything when Abramovich left. But what Abramovich brought to Chelsea is that he was willing to spend money, right? He was willing to get those big players, and Todd Bowley's come in and he's bent the rules to the maximum, and he spent the money.
It's not just the money. It's not just the money.
I mean, but Chelsea,
it was a whole culture. It's not money.
Chelsea created their history. They created their history off Abramovich coming in and you guys getting some big signings and you guys kept spending money. Yes, I agree with you that he was a little bit ruthless with the coaches, but it was because he kept spending money and bringing in better players. Now you guys came into a new era where you're trying to do the same idea, but you're getting B and C coaches, whereas when Abramovich was there, he's getting A coaches and super A coaches. That's the biggest difference. The money spending is there, but again, they're coming to a realization that back in the day, PSR wasn't as, in the forefront of things. Whereas now it is. So now they have to try to build something, not just for a year or two. They need to build
Mhm.
something long term. That's why you see the contracts that are handed out to Chelsea players of 5, 6, 7 years, and the money spread out through all that. So I think, if anything, I think the reason why Chelsea's in this is a little bit self-inflicted because I think I posed this to you. I said, do you think that if you gave Pochettino another 12 months, he would do better? And I think you said yes. Maresca isn't it, man. He's not.
I don't disagree in terms of your argument with longevity with managers and whatnot, but I feel like you're discrediting how impactful Abramovich's disappearance from the club was, or how detrimental it was.
I
Right?
don't, but you guys had the perfect coach at that time to see Chelsea through. You had Thomas Tuchel, and during that time, you guys won the Champions League. When all that shit was going down, Tuchel won the Champions League. Like you had the most elegant guy at that time because there was many press conferences. I don't know if you recall, there's many press conferences that they were asking Tuchel, like, can you comment on Abramovich? Can you do this? Can you do that? And he went through that time very elegantly. So it's not a matter of, you know, yeah, Arsenal can also look back and be like, oh, well, Wenger got built the Emirates and he kept protecting the Kroenkes and the board and yada yada yada. But like at one point, the president, you got to take ownership for what's happening. And I think you're deflecting and trying to go back because it's been many years now, and you guys had an elite coach, and from an elite coach, you thought you were getting better when you brought in Graham Potter, and then you brought in Pochettino, who I think would have done wonders with this team if you
Wait,
just
so
gave
who
him a
who
call.
brought in Graham Potter?
Bully.
Okay, and like you see what I'm saying? Like who's bully? He's the new guy that came in that we like that Chelsea fans weren't even impressed with when we saw that that was one of the guys that was looking to acquire the club. You see what I'm
But
saying?
he's
So
spending
it's like,
money. But he's
yeah,
spending money.
but you guys know it's not just the money. There's more to the money. There's more. Come on, man. Like
I mean, the difference is, I
if
mean,
if we if
I
we take
guess
a club, any club other than the top six clubs in Europe, and we give them a wad of cash, do you guys really think that?
Well, look at Forest.
Huh?
Forest spent money and they're sitting in third place.
Okay, that's fine. That's a year. That's 1 year. That's 1 year. We know that,
Okay, fair
bro.
enough.
Leicester City 1 year won the league, and now they're looking to get relegated. You know what I mean? So it's like it's about whether you not you can reproduce these things year over year, and that's right. That's why when you look at Real Madrid and those clubs, that's what it's about, right? Can you
Yeah.
be consistent in the performance and in the results? So that's what I'm saying. It's like throw a team money, but maybe yeah, 1 year suddenly okay they perform to a certain level, but then the year after that, right? Ronaldo, what did Ronaldo say as soon as he came back to Man U when he came back to Man U,
Nothing's changed. It's shit.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot more. There's a lot more. There's a whole system, um, and structure. Yeah. So all I'm trying to say, essentially, before we wrap this up, right, is that yeah, like there's just a lot more to just the money that Chelsea has spent, and that I mean we felt a certain shock from what happened, and we're still recovering from that. So during that process of recovery, right, it's going to be tough. We have to hang in there, but we have to perform to the best of ability. And for now, the Conference League is what you know what's there for us at the moment until we can look to the Champions League again, hopefully next year. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, welcome back. As always, episode 12. Joined by my co-hosts CJ and Laurent. You guys enjoyed a little beginning banter. Um, But yeah, we got a lot to cover today. Couple big results over the weekend. Couple big games coming up this weekend, and we finally, CJ, applause, finally guessed the correct score of the Fulham Arsenal game. He's on the leaderboard.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, let's let's start off on a happy note for the Arsenal Fulham game because we're gonna get to the meat of it, but wow, Star fucking Boy is back. Like, y I don't know, you just the energy in the stadium, everything about it, like you could feel the energy through the screen. Like, man, he is how like I can't even put into words how much we missed him. Like, man, what do you? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying this, CJ? Am I like?
No, man, you couldn't have written that script, I should say, any better. Like, the guy comes back in his first game and he scores a goal. And yeah, like you said, like the stadium just was on fire. Like that's probably the loudest the stadium has been all year, under the circumstances of our season. And like, when Saka came on, like that roar, it just reminded me of like the second time around when Henry came back to the
Yeah,
Emirates, in his second stint when he came on against Leeds. Like you just see how impactful of a player Saka is to his teammates, to the coaching staff, to the fan base, to the club as a whole. He's that guy, man. He's the poster boy, and yeah, man, like how perfect is that? He comes in and he scores the goal that essentially wins the game for us because we needed that second goal. So yeah, man, it's just welcome back, Saka. We missed him, and who knows where we could have been, and if the guy was fit for the last 3 months. We probably could have been closer in that title race, but it is what it is. Hopefully, lessons are learned now in terms of overplaying some of our players, and I think we'll get to that in a minute when we touch on another big injury that that we've come across from this game. But yeah, man, overall, Saka being back couldn't have been any better. We talked last podcast about how much minutes are we going to give him. Between the three of us here, none of us are experts. We're not doctors. We don't know behind the scenes what's actually going on. So it was always going to be hard to determine how many minutes he should get, where he's actually at in his physical condition. He got more minutes than I actually thought that he was going to get. I'm sure he got more minutes than all three of us thought he
yeah,
was going to get. Who knows behind the scenes, right? In international break, he could have played behind closed doors friendlies. Who knows how he actually has been for all this time? And that's what I've been saying about how Arsenal and Arteta like to keep their powder dry when it comes to team news and things like that. So he could have been fit for a long time now. There was rumors that he could have even been back before international break, but they chose not to rush him in. So yeah, overall, great news for the club, and hopefully we see him at full tilt in against Real Madrid. To be honest with you,
yeah. And there was a really nice moment when Saka and Emil Smith Rowe when Emil Smith Rowe was
yeah.
getting subbed on. I don't know if you saw that they were singing their song. I
Mm-hmm.
just think it was really nice because whatever fans think of Emil Smith Rowe and the potential that he could have had that he didn't touch, he's still during the dark times, like that goal against Chelsea, like he saved Arteta's career. Because if Emil Smith Rowe didn't come through that season, Arteta could have been sacked. And the way that he was performing, so it was just a really touching moment. And just another shout out, Alex Iwobi. Like he, there's something about him that I've always loved. He
Yeah,
he
me too.
he just he never showed it at Arsenal enough. He had you know there's moments where he would show the talent, and I think being at Fulham, albeit like, and no disrespect to Fulham, but a little bit of a smaller club compared to Arsenal, I think the shirt was a little bit too heavy because now that he's at Fulham, he's playing like the creativity, the confidence, and when he picks up the ball, like he's willing to drive. Um, yeah, he just looks good, man. Like it makes me
You're so
happy.
spot on. Yeah, you're so spot on. I agree entirely. I was going to say the exact same things, honestly. Like I think you hit the nail on the coffin there. Like he, again, with all due respect to a club like Fulham, like that is his level. He's definitely a quality Premier League level player, but for like a big club like Arsenal or one of the top six clubs, he's maybe not to be the guy, but at a club like Fulham for sure, who's still a solid Premier League club historically and whatnot, that's still a
Yeah.
good club to be at. Don't get it twisted, and he's performing. He's a solid Premier League player, and he can potentially even get a better move. Let's say, I think he's a good player, and I think he plays for his international side in Nigeria as well. So no, man, Iwobi's a baller, and obviously all things considered, when you see all the injuries we've had in attack, we could have used Iwobi this season, at a time where we
Yeah,
have all
man.
4 of our attackers out. So, yeah, man, shout out Iwobi. Yeah, he's definitely a baller. They got some good players at Fulham, man. They're a good side. They really are.
So before we get to Big Gabby's injury, Timber, he got a knock on the knee. I watched it back a couple times, and I think it was just the way that his knee got jarred when he got that impact. He did fight through it. He played the rest of the game. I think he'll be fine for the Madrid tie. Um, the big thing that's concerning is what's going on with Ben White and Calafiori. Calafiori, I don't think he'll be ready for the Madrid tie because of the injury that he sustained when he was with Italy. I think he's still out at least minimum another week. But Ben White, like, what's going on there, right? They did say it was a precaution this game that they kept him out. They say he was muscular and he wasn't feeling well, but a little concerning. But
My gosh.
So, like I said to you guys before we started recording, the reason why I'm wearing a Brazil jersey is because just in support of Big Gabby, he looks, from the sounds of it, he tore his hamstring, similar to Saka. Maybe not as severe, but he's done for the season. He's been ruled out already.
Well, they're saying he needs an operation, so
Yeah.
it could be just as severe.
Yeah, so he's done. And the thing that hurts for him more so too is in the Brazil team, like when they faced Argentina, he was a huge miss in the middle of that defense, and he's gonna be missed again for Arsenal. And again, I think it was last year during a pivotal run in, Kivior was a huge part of that, and now again, Kivior steps in where last year it was against Bayern Munich and Leroy Sané, and now this year it's going to be against Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinny Jr. And what? How do we not laugh? Because I messaged in the group chat and I just started laughing. When Gabby went down, I just started laughing. I said, "There's nothing else to do but laugh." Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I have to come in on this because I've had like a lot of thoughts since the injury, happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. And it's just like, just this season, it's just, in keeping with the season, just right off the season, man, we've just had such shit, rotten luck. And it's just like, it couldn't have come at the worst time. The guy he came home early from the international break. He didn't even play in the second Brazil game. Came home early because he was suspended for that second game against Brazil. So we decided to call him back early, give him a rest. Lo and behold, plays one game now for Arsenal, and this guy does his hamstring. He's done for the season. Like a week before we play Madrid, like you couldn't fucking write this shit, man. You actually couldn't. Like it's actually crazy how our season's gone, man, in that sense. And like there's been a lot of conversations, and I'm hearing both sides about whose fault is it? Is it anyone's fault? Is it just bad luck? Is it the manager? Is it so on and so forth? I've had different thoughts over the last couple of days. Like there's something to be said. Here's what I will say. There's something to be said about the fact that we've now had 3 or 4 players who had the same injury, a hamstring grade 3 level injury where you've completely done your hamstring. You're out for months. You need an operation. That's now Saka. That's Havertz. That was Martinelli to a certain extent. Thank God Martinelli didn't need an operation. And that's now Gabriel. So it's about 4 players there and a couple other injuries throughout the season. I think Saliba had a minor tweak in his muscular injury. We're getting a lot of muscular injuries, and we're getting a lot of serious muscular injuries. And a lot of people are giving the coaching staff and Arteta a little bit of grief here. And I understand why, because these players are, if you look at the players who did these hamstring injuries, these big muscular injuries, your Sakas, your Havertz, Nelly, Big Gabby. These guys have all they played heavy minutes a lot for both club and country over the last couple of seasons. They played heavy minutes, and we do definitely overplay these players sometimes. I do definitely agree with that. There's no coincidence. Like, how do you get 3 to 4 players that need an operation on their hamstring in the same season? What's going on the training ground? Are we training too hard? Is our training regime too heavy right now? Like, how do you get, like, I get it 1 or 2, whatever that happens, but 3 or 4 now, like there's a common denominator. I do think a lot of these players are being overworked and definitely overplayed. There's games where Gabriel has played in cup games in the League Cup and Carabao Cup where he didn't need to play these minutes. the last game against I think it was PSV, or the very last game of our Champions League game that was a dead rubber that didn't mean anything. Why is Gabby playing in these games? You know, and it's all hindsight. I get it too, but again, it's just there's no coincidence in some of these things. You know, there really isn't. Like you can't have so many of these players picking up severe muscular injuries in the same season. You know, look what is going on. We need to look behind the scenes into what's going on there. You know, a lot of these players are clearly in the red zone, and it's showing. You know, it really showed this season. However, with the Gabriel one, I will say maybe it is a result of so many games played throughout the course of the season, but specifically for this game, it's hard to pin it on the manager for me because it's like we brought him back early, like I said, from international break for a reason. You know, we all would have went into this game saying, picking our starting lineup, who's going to play? Oh yeah, Gabby's going to play because why wouldn't he play? He's fit. You know, so it's one of those. It's a catch-22, really. You know, you got to play the guy if he's fit. He came back early from international break. Like, why is he not going to play? You know, I can understand our forwards when Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus literally all went down within the space of a month. I understand that because they fucking were overplayed. We had no one else at that time. You know, like that definitely you can pinpoint on the manager and the coaching staff for sure and say, yeah, like why are all of our forwards? There's no coincidence there that in and around 3 to 4 weeks, all of our forwards are burnt out. And we did nothing about it. You know, Kai Havertz is dying on the pitch against Wolves, couldn't pick himself up off the floor, but we're still playing him 90 every game. You know, and even in this game, to be honest with you, actually, with Timber's injury, the moment Timber went off in the first half, or sorry, when he went down in the first half,
he should have been subbed.
I'm thinking, okay, they're going to get him off. Bro, the guy still played until what, the 75th minute. We need this guy from Madrid. He should have been subbed ASAP.
Bring on Jorginho or even trust an international player like Tierney or Zinchenko to do a job. I don't give a fuck if they're offside. Like Partey was like balling in the midfield. You know,
our Premier League, let's get it right. Like our Premier League season in terms of what we're aiming for is done. So it's like these players, Timbers and whatnot, like we need to protect these guys because our season now lies on Real Madrid. Like that's our cup final at this moment in time. And I'm hearing Timbers fit now, and he should be okay for the Madrid tie. I'm not playing him against Everton.
Fuck that.
We need him.
Fuck that. If he plays against Everton, it would be the dumbest thing that Arteta is going to do. Like, first of all, I already said last week, I think this Everton tie is going to be extremely hard, and I anticipate that we're going to draw.
For sure.
But fuck that. Do not play him. Do not play Partey at right back. Maybe go, I don't know, play Zinchenko, play Tierney, play someone else on that side. Even play Lewis Skelly. I think as a midfielder, I think he can do it. I think he can do a job. Like, do not play Timber. If Ben White's back, I honestly maybe Ben White, but I'd rather have Ben White and Saliba together. Like it's I don't know, man. It's but this is a season from hell, and honestly, I just hope Gabby recovers and he can play for Brazil and he can come back for Arsenal stronger because it's just heartbreaking. He knew right away. You saw it on his face. He knew right away, and then just before we move on from the Arsenal, that pass from Martinelli, whether it was intentional or not, that's the Brazilian flair that we've been missing. And if we're gonna do anything against Madrid, he's gotta step up. He has to step up now. Yes, I know.
I'll go as far as to say. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would literally go as far as to say we haven't seen that Martinelli for 2 years now since the 22-23 season. Like, where has that been? That performance, and that gives me a little bit of hope and confidence that if he performs like that against Real Madrid, we could do something because we're gonna need our forwards to step up, man. Like Martinelli, we haven't seen that from him for so long, and the things that he was doing in that game, man, he was cooking. Like he got his Brazilian passport back. You know, once upon a time that shit was revoked. You know, the man was playing drunk. But he got his Brazilian status.
He was playing for Paraguay, bro. What the fuck,
bro? Like, what the hell was he doing? This guy's running the ball out of bounds every time with his head down. But no, man, the things that he was doing in that game, he cooked the right back Castagna, man.
Oh man,
I just hope he keeps it up, man.
Yeah, fuck. Oh man. All right, let's quickly plow through the Premier League games. There's a few games that I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on. Wolves again. They continue to win 1-0 without Cunha. I would say that was a disappointing performance by West Ham because I think that they dominated the game from a possession standpoint, from every single aspect. But Wolves squeezed one. Strand Larson scored for Wolves. Southampton, like crazy result for them because they're trying to. I think it was Derby who had 12 points at the end of the year or something like that. So they got a very important point for themselves against Palace. Um, I mean, Palace really flat after winning that FA Cup tie over Fulham. Really flat this game. Um, the game that I got wrong this weekend was Ipswich. They got three crucial points against Bournemouth. Um, I still think they're locked to go down. I think they're well away from Wolves. I know they're 3 points. I think three or four 6 points away from Wolves. But I think once Cunha comes back, I think he's going to change the levels. Um, Newcastle. Did you guys see that Sandro Tonali goal?
Yo,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah, yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, okay,
I had to
hold
rewind that.
on.
I had to
Was
replay
that
that.
that wasn't intentional, bro? Come on.
No, honestly, I don't know if you guys heard it, but when the shot went off, it sounded like it ricocheted off something or like off someone. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So it's like he hit it, and I'm pretty sure it deflected. It was just too
Did
fast.
it?
Yeah, like it had to. It
Yeah, because
definitely
that
felt like.
angle was too crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that angle was wild. But anyway, hey, again, they continue to win, and it almost looks like they're gonna secure a top four, and we can kiss goodbye to Alexander Isak.
Well, I don't
Um,
know, man. And not if Chelsea has something to say about it. First of all, there's about five teams in the mix, I should say six, maybe more, but six concrete teams in the mix. Okay, so if we go through it, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, City, Chelsea, Newcastle. Now, yes, you're saying top four.
And Villa, you're
They're not
forgetting
even.
Villa. Villa is pretty much
Villa's
in.
2 points behind Newcastle in seventh.
Okay,
Newcastle's on 50th in
Actually,
sixth.
okay, so they're in the mix as well. But my thing is, you're saying top four, like they're not even top four. They're also not even top five. Like currently, they're sixth, and there's still a couple teams that they're gonna have to get ahead of if they're gonna get into that
They have
Champions League
one game
spot.
in
To be honest.
hand. They have one
that
game
is
in
true.
hand, and that game in hand, I believe, I think it's against Palace. So if they
Hmm.
win that game, they would be on 53 points, which would put them ahead of Chelsea. And I'll put my
Hmm.
money on them beating a Palace. So they just
Would
need to
you?
squeeze into the fifth spot.
Like, here's my thing: is I think it's up in the air. It's a toss up at this moment in time on whether or not they'll get there. Obviously, every result that they have now, I'm watching their games and hoping that they don't pick up the 3 points because obviously, if they don't get into Champions League, that means more likely Isak will leave. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they don't get in there. But yeah, it's looking tight in those Champions League
That
places.
game that Arsenal play against them, like that's going to be a huge game for us to ruin their top four bid and help
Yeah.
our own cause. So, Forest, you know, you know what I think the only comment I have about this Forest game is one, okay, we Forest is having an unreal season. I don't even want to talk about that because Manchester United are piss poor. But when I look at Manchester United's management from top down, I know we were shitting on Chelsea a little bit earlier, but like compared to a team like United, like why the fuck would you spend 90 mil for Anthony when you had Anthony Alanga who dismantled your whole entire team and scored the game-winning goal? Like I don't know if you guys saw the replay of the goal. Like Anthony Langa literally just ran through United's defense on a counterattack. He ran 90 yards and he scored. Like he was an academy player. Like I understand PSR and stuff like that, but like you could have kept Alanga and not spend 90 mil on Anthony and actually rebuilt your back line. Like
So okay, so I have a thought about this. So, at hindsight, is it one of those like an Alex Iwobi situation where players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Langa, where maybe Chelsea and United, those clubs respectively, were too big, the jersey way
nope.
too heavy on them?
He was
It's
performing
it's,
though.
it's Forest their level.
No, but he was performing. Remember under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was performing. But when Ten Hag came in, he didn't rate him. He was performing when he came off the bench and when he got a couple starts. He was actually performing. Same thing like Amad Diallo. Yes, maybe they're not the types of names that you expect for Manchester United, but like if you're looking at it, Manchester United is at a point where they're like low on cash and they're saying that they might, have to sell off the club even more by December because they're going to run out of money. Like Anthony Langa is one of those players that you could have kept instead of spending 90 mil on Anthony, and now Anthony's maybe going to be worth 25, 30 million because he's balling out at Real Betis, right? I agree with you with Hudson-Odoi. I think Hudson-Odoi, the issue with him maybe was more his injuries rather than the
His
jersey being
injuries, yeah.
heavy.
I personally think Man United's best teams of the past, like Anthony Elanga doesn't get in an ambitious Man United
Of
team.
course.
You know, like I think personally, these sort of clubs, again, respectfully to Forest, these are more so his level. If United has ambitions to going back to being top of the table and contending at the highest level, I don't think personally guys like Anthony Elanga are going to get them there. But I don't know. I do think it's another case of like an Alex Iwobi where I think he's balling at a level where he's playing for a good mid-table club in Forest, and now they're above mid-table. Clearly, they're fighting for Champions League. So, I think he has found his level. But regardless, no shade. Like, good for him. He deserves to be playing a lot of minutes, and he's doing well. And it's good, honestly, that he dealt with his old club.
Did you hear what the Forest fans were singing?
Oh yeah.
Anthony Elanga, he left because you're shit.
Because you're shit.
He left because you're shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I love British fans, man. They're fucking amazing.
Fuck United.
The next couple games, Villa 3-0. I don't even care about the 3-0. The thing that pisses me off more, and I'm gonna say this every single time when Villa win, Rashford, Asensio, Daniel Mullen, the 3 goal scorers. Villa showed ambition in the January window, and Ollie Watkins is a bench player now. Like, it just pisses me off every single time I see it. I understand, yes, we couldn't get Rashford because of Neto, but like Asensio, Daniel Mullen, like, it just pisses me off. It really pisses me. And I honestly would not put it past an Unai Emery team beating PSG. I think I said it last time. I'm going to keep saying it again. I would not put it past them to get a result against PSG. I'm not confident enough to say that I think they would beat PSG and go through to the next round, but I'm confident to say that they're going to push PSG more so than Liverpool and even Arsenal. Even though Arsenal beat them, I think like they're going to push them more than Liverpool pushed them. The Hollandless Man City win over Leicester. Again, another player, Marmoush. When January, when Arsenal were trying to go for him, they were saying that he's not available. But again, like, he was available. Like, why didn't we go in and get him? And he's so versatile. He can play across all three forward positions, and again in this game he showed his versatility. Just like these type of players, and when I see it and the potential that we could have had having these players and where we could have been in the title race, I'm not saying we would have been like within striking distance, but we would have been closer than we are now. Maybe it would have been 6 points rather than 12 points or 11 points that it is right now. The Merseyside derby. Did you guys see that tackle from Tarkowski? Is that not a straight red, or am I tripping balls?
Oh, when he was like he got him around the lower to the knee, or the calf. Yeah.
Studs up. I understand he got the ball first, but like, isn't that?
Yeah, no, that was that looked bad.
There's no getting the ball first there in that scenario, man. Like Tarkowski knew exactly what he was doing. How is the like again, bro? We talk about it again. VAR, like, are you guys serious? How does one look at that on replay? First of all, the referee should see that in real time. Never mind replay. How does one see that on replay and deem, oh yeah, no, you're good, yellow card? Like, are you guys stupid or bro?
It's lucky that they're lucky that McAllister rolled the tackle because he could have broken his leg. Like, how is that not I literally I texted every single person that I know and I said, am I missing something with the rules of the game? How is that not a red card?
No, that's shocking, bro. That's a shocking tackle. Shocking from the referees, man. But are we surprised, really?
Yeah. And then the goal, like the Luis Diaz goal, the Diego Jota goal, like David Moyes, I listened to his presser after the match and he said it was a clear offside because the way that the pass was played, by the letter of the law, Tarkovsky did have to make an attempt. Like when he made the attempt and he touched the ball, to reset where the offside line is. But the ball was intended for Luis Diaz and he was in an offside position. But because Tarkovsky touched the ball, the line reset. It's like a little bit of a gray area. Um, but like honestly, Everton played unreal. Like Beto missing that chance, hitting the post, that offside goal that he had. Like Everton's no joke. Like I said, I'm anticipating a draw this weekend for us. I don't sleep on Everton. This is their first loss in 9 games, and I wouldn't even consider it a loss in the grand scheme of things. When they pushed the soon-to-be champions of the Premier League, like they pushed them, and they almost scored in extra time again. Um, Chelsea. Thank you. It's CJ, congratulations. It's happy St. Totteringham's Day. It's official. For those listeners who don't know what that is, that's the day that officially Tottenham can no longer finish above Arsenal, and um, the penalty merchants actually helped Arsenal in this scenario, and they just barely squeezed past Nando's FC. But Laurent, what say you? What's your analysis of this game?
Um, I thought it was one of the better performances in a long time. Uh, I don't know why you're laughing.
Better
Uh,
performances by who?
Overall, the team as a collective. Yeah, yeah. I'm not just singling out one player there from the get-go. In terms of the work rate, I like the work rate with the players here. Central, was showing some creativity. I do like how he plays in that position, especially the link-up play as well with Kukureya or the white players. Something overlapping on that side. But in other than that, other than the win, I would like to see more goals from us. Um, I'm not comfortable with these 1-0 wins. I know that you can't win all games, right, with a high score line. But I definitely feel like we have room for improvement, whether we decide on our end, right, to maybe sign some offensive players for the upcoming season, or we step up the way we play, right, to create those chances for ourselves. But all in all, I did like it. And penalty merchant, I did like what he was doing this game. He was not willing to go at it by himself. He was looking for the passes.
He played
Uh,
like a true number 10. He
yeah,
played like a true number 10, popping up on the left side, on the right side. He was popping up like center mid. He was trying to come pick up the ball in Chelsea's zone and bring the ball up. Yeah, he wasn't just cherry picking. He was
right,
actually moving. So yeah, maybe the long layoff and um sitting out the international break was good for him.
right. Or maybe he tunes into this podcast and he always hears the
Yeah,
criticism you
okay.
have for him. So either way, right? I'm happy with his performance. He didn't look too happy
No, when he
coming
got
off.
subbed, yeah, he
Yeah,
was pissed.
yeah. I mean, at that point, I think the game was already pretty much over. He came off pretty late in the game.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe he was trying to, get a goal for himself, right? Which is understandable.
yeah.
But
So
mhm,
I know you predicted Forest finishing top four.
right.
What do you think? Did Chelsea secure a top four spot?
If we have performances like the one we had today, we can definitely secure top four.
Okay, so I want a yes or no. Chelsea have Champions League next year, yes or no?
I want to say
Maybe
yes. I want to say
yes?
yes. Also, I don't know if you noticed what Maresca did in terms of the formation when he was closing out the
Yeah, he
game.
went to back four, five.
Yes, a back five. That is the type of adaptability, versatility from a manager that I like to see. I think he's learning in terms of closing out games
Okay.
because there were too many games where similar scoreline and no adjustments are made, right? In terms even in the substitutions, we're up and suddenly now we're down. Either right, we end up tying the game or we end up losing the game. So this to me, right, from the managerial side of things, did show a lot of growth. So applause to him for doing what he did.
Um, looking at a couple key games this week, actually, sorry. For Copa del Rey, we got a Clasico final, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. But that Madrid game, the Real Madrid Sociedad, what a it, the one of the wildest games that I've ever watched. I know Laurent, you watched it because we were messaging back and forth. CG, did you get a chance to watch any of the highlights of that game?
I did not know.
Dude, it was the wildest game I've ever watched in my life. Like from an Arsenal point of view, I'm happy. I love the fact that Madrid played 120 minutes and they had to use everyone. Like Rudiger came on and there was a lot of players that they had on the bench. But man, like seeing the defensive vulnerability of Madrid before the Gabby injury, I was very confident that we were going to win the first leg. Now with the Gabby injury, depending on if Ben White, Timber are back, I would say before the Gabby injury, I was 85% sure that we're going to win the first leg. I would say right now I'm like 65% sure. But that defensive vulnerability, like I think we can capitalize on it because they're very shaky in the back line, Madrid.
So I'm going to keep my comments sort of close to my chest until like the next episode or two, because I really am looking forward to us doing the actual proper Real Madrid Arsenal breakdown of the Champions League tie coming up. We're going to spend time, listeners, breaking that one down in the next couple episodes leading up to the game. But one thing I will say quickly is obviously the Gabby injury changes sort of the whole dynamic about how we approach this now. And like seeing it was Betis they played, Real Betis?
No, they played Sociedad.
Sorry, Sociedad. I'm thinking Betis. Sociedad. Seeing the way Sociedad played against them and them putting 4 goals past them shows the frailties that they have in their back line. I'm just concerned that if we were at full tilt and we were on form offensively and we had our full attacking quartet or our full attacking players at full strength and, they're in form, we don't know what kind of form Saka is going to be in by the time that game comes around. But if we were full strength, full tilt, full form, full fitness, I would be like super confident going into that game against them because they're clearly vulnerable at the back. If Sociedad, again, respectfully, if teams like that are putting goals past them, and they're not the only ones. We've seen teams this season put goals past Real Madrid. They're frail at the back. They've got injuries. They've got vulnerabilities. It's just so unfortunate that we're not at our fluent attacking best to expose that. And so what we were going to do, and I'm fully confident Arteta was going to do this, was we were going to rely on our defensive strength, similar to how Atletico played them across the 2 ties in the Champions League. With Gabby fit, I'm positive that we were going to rely on our defensive strength and play to our strengths in terms of trying to get the better of them. If we go a straight shootout against Real Madrid and we try and attack and they attack a basketball match, we're going to get absolutely raped, destroyed, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? So we cannot try and play a basketball match and go toe-to-toe on a shootout with Real Madrid. However, I am not as confident now of us trying to essentially keep it tight at the back and kind of shut up shop and play a tight defensive structured game without Gabriel there. It's just not going to be the same. And I swear to the good Lord above, Kivior should not be anywhere near this game. He should not play in these 2 legs. I don't care. Play Tierney left center back. I do not care. I do not want Kivior starting this match, playing 90 minutes in the Bernabeu or at the Emirates against Real Madrid. I'm telling you that now. So Ben White, bro, take some meds, take some roids, do what you got to do. Oh, I'm kidding. I don't endorse roids, but do what you got to do. Get fit. Like Ben White, we need you, bro. Like we really do need you because, man, like if Ben White and Saliba are our center back partnership, I do get a bit of confidence back.
Or Timber.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing with Timber. Some will even say that Timber is more important for this Real Madrid tie than Gabby because without Timber, we don't have another quality right back. Whereas in center back, we can cope. You could put Ben White there. You could put, if Calafiori was fit, you could put him there, Tierney. But Timber, I'm telling you, and again, this will go towards more of the breakdown when we get closer to the match. Timber is absolutely crucial for these 2 ties against Real Madrid. Why? Because Timber is a right back. Who plays on that side for Real Madrid? Vinny Jr.
Yeah.
One of the most devastating one-on-one wingers in the world. If you want any player in world football to defend, and I think quote unquote defend or somewhat contain a Vinny Jr., it's Timber. Timber is one of the best one-on-one defenders out there. So that battle of Vinny versus Timber is going to be top class. I can't wait for it, actually. Ben White, he's not fully fit yet. So I feel like he can get away more maybe playing center back where he doesn't have to do as much running. Vinny is going to run at guys all game. He really will. And if Ben White isn't fit, which means we have to slot Timber in at center back and Partey at right back, forget about it. It's just going to be a recipe for disaster.
No.
Timber needs to play right back in this game because Timber is our best one-on-one defender. And if anybody can sort of, again, I say deal with in quotations because Vinny is just world class. If anyone can deal with or contain a Vinny Jr. in our team, it's Timber. Timber has to play right back in this game. I'm telling you that now. So I hope Ben White is fit so that Ben White can play center back, and that will allow Timber to stay in right back because I do not want Timber shifting to center back because we really do need him to do a man marking job on Vinny basketball style,
No, you're bang on. And for listeners, this the next pod, episode 13, we're gonna do the full breakdown. And I know CJ teased it a little bit, but yeah, 100%. I fully agree with everything you said.
Wait, sorry. Just I don't want to go into too much detail because, like you guys are saying, right? We're gonna cover this in the upcoming episode. But I mean, I watched that game. I watched the majority of that game. Now, what I'm going to say next is what the commentators actually were saying as it was happening, and it was very interesting to watch and see. Mind you, the points you guys are using, right, to essentially say that, right, if Gabriel was there, right, let's say you have your full defense, okay, your full defensive lineup present for that game. Obviously, it does increase the chances of you, for one, right, not conceding, and as a whole, right, just performing better, right, being more fluid from front to back. But the one thing that was scary about the game in general, right, in support of Real Madrid, just as a team as they are, is that, yeah, they let in 4 goals. There was a point where they were out of the tie.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, right? They
Yep.
were out of the tie. However, in the words of the commentators, it's just
They're inevitable.
well, no, it's not even that. It's the fact that they never turned on the gear. So it's as if the whole time that this was happening, Real Madrid just never showed up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's the scary part. That's the scary part.
Right. And towards the closing minutes, the goals were right. It was almost like a back and forth, right? Like a basketball game, as you're saying, a back and forth. And then you get this just completely out of nowhere. I swear, I turned away for a second. I look back. Real Madrid somehow like put one to come back into the tie, right? And what it is, a pass to Jude Bellingham, and then in the words of the commentator, just a casual volley. You know what I mean? As if like, oh, okay, yeah, we're down. It's that time. It's it's that time of the day. We just gotta wrap it up. And like the commentator was even saying like it's almost as if they enjoy being in these positions.
I swear, bro.
Right?
Yeah,
so
crazy. They show up for these because what you're saying is Sociedad scored in the 16th minute, Madrid scored in the 30th, then Alaba own goal in the 72nd minute. I'm probably gonna fuck this up. Mikel Oyarzabal, the 80th minute he scored, and then Bellingham 82nd minute, and then 4 minutes later Tchouaméni scored.
Right.
And then Oyarzabal scored in the 93rd minute, and then Rudiger 115th minute to seal the win. So yeah, that's the scary part. Like they're so inevitable that, like I said, I was 85% confident that we were gonna win the first leg with Gabby. Now 65%. But yeah, that's the scary part about Madrid. And but again, this is what we live for, though. This is what we wanted. This is why we wanted to be in the Champions League. So let's see. Big Manchester Derby this weekend. No Holland. United are shooting blanks. You know what's a crazy stat that I actually saw the other day? In 30 games, how many goals do you think United have scored in 30 games?
Less than 15?
Less than 15?
Less than 15?
Wait, in 30 games?
30? Yes, 30 games. How many goals do you think they've scored?
Jeez,
All right,
15.
okay.
But you think they're that shit?
All right, okay, yeah, like half. Let's say half. Half, 15.
So you think in 30 games Manchester United scored 15 goals?
No, because the way you're setting it up, it's as if it's a bad stat.
It
That's what
is a
I'm saying.
bad stat, but let me like you're way off. The lowest scoring team, which is Southampton, they scored 22 goals. So it's not 15. If it was
Okay.
15, they'd be fucking in the relegation zone. But give a realistic number.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, it couldn't be because I know they concede a lot. It'd be different if they didn't concede, right? But okay, I'll go. I don't know, like 25, 25.
Okay. CJ?
I don't know if I'm even giving them too much credit here, but I'm going to say they probably score at a rate of 1 goal a game. So let's say in 30 games they've scored 30 goals.
You're actually pretty close. They've scored 37 goals in 30 games, which is
Hmm.
like they've given up 41, but they've essentially gone a goal a game. And it's wild. It's
And they're
wild.
in a deficit, right? Like their goal
Yeah,
difference is in a
yeah.
deficit.
They're minus
Wow.
4 goal differential.
Fucking shocking for a club
So
like
they have
United, man.
37 points in 30 games. They have the same number of points as they have goals.
Wait, how many games under the new manager?
Like I want to say like 6 to 7, maybe a little bit more.
Wait, that new man? There's no way that the new
Amarin?
manager has
Yeah.
six game under his for menu.
Yeah, maybe if not even more.
No. I'm saying how many games has he managed menu so
Yeah.
far?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably more than let's see, when did Ruben Amorim come?
Oh,
He's 14. No, sorry. Whoa. Sorry. Not 14, sorry. Um Sorry, I'm just fact checking this quickly. Give me one sec.
because I'm trying to see if this is like what was it Hentag?
Ten
Tag
Hag? Ten Hag?
yeah, yeah, whatever that guy's name is. Trying to see whether it's
So he
his
started November. He started
November.
November 1st. So yeah, he's been there for a hot minute.
Mm,
He's
yeah,
been
let's
there for
pull
a
up.
hot minute. But anyways, who do you guys got for the Manchester Derby?
Honestly, to me, that game can go either way. I would like to see Man U win it though.
Okay. CJ?
Man U won at the Etihad. They're shit, but they'll turn up for this game because it's a derby. So I think this one might.
Do you think they're gonna do the double over City?
No. Damn. I think this one is going to be a draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. City win. City win.
I got draw. I think it's gonna be a draw. I think the City's gonna be winning the entire game, and then Bruno Fernandes is gonna do his little thing, and all of a sudden he's gonna have a penalty, and they're gonna finish the game as a draw.
You know what?
Why
I
does it
actually changed
sound
my
like
mind.
you
I
hate?
agree with that. I agree.
Why it sounds like you hate PKs, bro? Like a petition to have it taken out of the game, if anything, at this point,
No,
man.
I don't hate PKs. I just like it's just it's just I don't know.
Have you taken a PK ever?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like how does it feel like when you step up and the whole world's watching?
I don't really think about anything. I just
Yeah.
look at the ball and I just shoot.
Okay. Do you picture yourself at the San Siro?
Do I picture myself at the San Siro? No, I picture myself at the Metropolitano. Um, a huge your boys, your
Wait, sorry, Mehrdad. Before you continue, Laurent, what did you say for the United Derby?
Oh, my
Like result?
prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So you guys are seeing draws, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Draw.
Did you
I'm
just say that
saying,
United's gonna win?
yeah. I'm giving them 2-1, 2-1 United.
Mm-hmm.
Laurent, your fifth team or sixth team, I've lost track of how many teams you support, but huge top four battle for Villa and Forest. Villa ahead of a huge tie against PSG, and Forest. That's your seventh team, right? Seventh team, sixth team.
Honestly, at this point, I lost track as well, man.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well like keep it in a logbook somewhere, eh?
Yeah. Next thing you know, this man's supporting Ipswich in the championship.
You never know. You never know.
Fucking guy. But anyways, yeah, those are kind of the key ties. Um, I'm praying to God that Madrid have an injury this weekend to like someone serious. Just come on, man. I just wanna see us advance. This is all we got to play for the rest of the year. The Prem's done. Um,
So much for those the fucking UEFA suspensions, eh?
yeah,
Oh
fucking
yeah, yeah.
Fuck's
What's
sake.
happening? What's happening with
nothing,
that?
nothing. I haven't heard anything. I've been trying to follow it, but
Mm,
nothing.
jeez.
Shambles.
Yeah.
See,
Uh,
you can now grab your balls and towards your opposition fans, eh?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, all right. Well,
Pretty
Real
much.
Madrid, Real Madrid and UEFA Lona. You already know the clubs that UEFA have in their back pocket, man.
Yeah.
Brown envelopes all over the place, bro. Real Madrid just said,
Well,
here, hold a little 5 mil under the table and just let my players play.
yeah, legit.
Fuck.
Um, Predictions. Arsenal away to Everton. Goodison Park. David Moyes, like I said earlier, that was their first loss in 9 games. CJ, since you got the correct score, you can go last, give you the advantage. Um, Laurent, we'll start with you because you hate Arsenal. What do you think's gonna happen in this game? What do you predict as a score?
I don't know where you got that hate Arsenal from, but um, Saka's back. Martinelli seems to have found his groove again. Um, I see. I think you guys are gonna edge it out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might even say 3-0, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy, bro. That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like especially if you guys at least in the offensive side of things, right, perform to the same scale that you guys did the last game, I can see you guys scoring a few goals. In my opinion, right? Now the defensive side, yeah, I guess that's a big guy that you guys are missing. I assume adjustments are going to be made, right? The proper adjustments. Now, sorry, there's a point that you guys mentioned earlier on in the podcast about how you would rather this game be sacrificed in terms of not playing the big players. So I don't know if that's something the manager will do. Um, but funny enough, it actually makes the most rational sense if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where yeah, like why would you want to risk another injury for something that you're kind of not really playing for anymore, and you already have a good positioning? Um,
Like if Liverpool had lost today, for example, I'll be straight the other day,
mhm,
be straight up. I would have if Liverpool lost, I would have gone strong for this game against Everton because I think we could have kept putting more pressure on Liverpool. But the fact that they won, like it's even if Liverpool lost, it's almost a wrap. But this game, like I do not want to see Timber.
mm,
I don't want to see Partey right back. I want to make sure that he's good to go. Play Jorginho, play Zinchenko or Tierney on that left side. Like I don't want to see like those type of players get injured. I do think Saka does need to play to get some more minutes in his legs, so they can get up to speed. But again, same thing. Come on at the 58th, 60th minute, get quick 30 minutes into your legs. Um, but 3-0, that's a big score line. Um, my heart wants to say 2-1 Arsenal. Um, but I honestly think it's going to be like a 1-1 draw, sadly.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, your guy came back. That's what I don't like. I feel like you're not
It's
factoring that in.
it's
He's
it's
going to
be,
play.
he is going to play, but I think what I'm erring on that side of watching that game and watching Kivior get absolutely demolished by Adama Traore coming off on an angle. You got Jack Harrison, you got Beto who completely dominated Konate and Virgil van Dijk. And now he's going to be going against Saliba and Kivior. No disrespect to Kivior, but he's not to the levels of Gabriel, Van Dijk, or Konate. And watching what Beto did to them on that counter, and then you got Abdoulaye Doucouré that's coming through. You got Idrissa Gana Gueye. Like, they're very dangerous on the counter. And when David Moyes came, the one thing that he changed is they're defensively very solid. They don't let a lot through. And Mikolenko has had Saka's number. So even if Saka comes on, Mikolenko has shut down Saka the last couple times that they face each other. So it's not like it's a full guarantee that Saka's going to come on and change the game. Obviously, I put my money on it, but I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, unfortunately.
You guys think Saka's going to start this game?
No. If he does, it's crazy. It's blasphemy if he does. You think he's going to start?
Laurent, you're banking on him starting, you think? Is your prediction based on the fact that Saka's going to start?
Not necessarily going to start, but he's definitely going to have more minutes than he did last game. And mind you, that to me, right, was impactful from the get. I don't know if it was, I don't know how to describe it, but it's your first game back, right? Everyone's cheering for you, and that plays into it, right? Whereas second game, that kind of that dynamic, that aura kind of probably just dies down, right? Okay, now it's just like another game. But no, like I think if he's playing a good amount of minutes, he performs just like he did. Definitely, there's gonna be impact, right? And mind you, funny enough, we didn't even cover the Mourinho goal, which to me I thought, man, that was cool finish, very cool finish. So that's another guy, right? That is there. He seems like. And that goal too was not an easy finish. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, right?
It was a deflected goal, yeah, but it was still it was a poacher's finish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think if you guys do end up having a good game, I think that could also set the tone for you guys going into Madrid. So yeah.
CJ, what do you think?
My prediction is actually also 1-1. That's exactly what I was going to go for. Yeah, because I just think that naturally, human nature, right? The players are going to have Real Madrid on their mind. Let's be real. The fans already do, but the players, they're not robotic. They also know between the next two games which one is the bigger one. They know. They're all gassed and looking forward to that Real Madrid game. I'm sure they are, And I just feel so sorry for Gabriel because he would have been. That's a game that you want Gabriel. You want your warriors in the trenches with you. And Gabriel is definitely one of those where Gabriel will go to the Bernabeu and he's not afraid of nobody. Like we just lost a lot of leadership and we just lost a lot of like character and personality with it. And the more I talk about it, the more cheese I'm gonna get, man. But it's like fuck, man. Like, yeah, it's just shit. Shit. But anyways, so in terms of the players, I think they're all going to be hoping that they don't get injured. Those 50-50s might turn into 60-40s in Everton's favors. Like you can see some of our players pulling out of some of those big challenges because they're hoping that they're going to be, not get injured for the game and stay fit to play against Madrid, And Everton's probably one of the worst teams you want to go up against when you know that you have Real Madrid next because guys like Tarkowski and those fucking rugby players, they're just going to go crunching mans, So, yeah, man, let's hope our pretty boys like Odegaard and those guys, they don't get injured and they're healthy and out of all the guys that I say I want to protect, like I don't want Timber playing in this game and so on. If Ben White is healthy, I do want him to play in this game. Funny enough, because he needs minutes under his legs going against Real Madrid. If he's going to be fit, he's already come back since his big injury, and in a couple of games, I think he played against PSV in the Champions League, and he looked clearly rusty, which was quite a concern. So he doesn't have much minutes under his legs after returning from a long layoff. But we're relying on him, if Gabby is out, to be the man to step in against Madrid. So he would actually need to play against Everton to get a little bit of minutes under his legs, get some touches on the ball and so on. So I would actually play him against Everton if he's fit. But other than that, I'm looking at resting guys like, Timber. I would, like you said, I would play Jorginho in this game. I would play Zinchenko. I'd play Tierney. I'd play some of these guys, man, because, we need our big hitters. Saka does need to play this game as well, maybe off the bench to get some more minutes under his legs as well.
Yeah.
But overall, I think naturally the players, and as much as Arteta won't want to admit it, even he will have one eye on Real Madrid. I just think that because of that, I think this game could be a 1-1. I think it will be a draw, and my prediction is 1-1, to be honest with you.
The only thing that bodes well for us is it's the early game. It's for Canada at 7:30 a.m. That's the only thing that bodes well for us, knowing that we're going to finish, be able to go straight into recovery. It's not like an afternoon or late night game that like the recovery doesn't start sooner. So that's the only saving grace that it is an early game. But yeah. Um but yeah.
Well, but on the flip side, Madrid also they play Valencia, no?
Yeah.
So Saturday, right? I mean,
Should be a slap, man. Where's Valencia on the table?
Mid.
They're probably lowered, low, mid to low.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not, man. Like I wish they had like a Barcelona or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they're
fuck's sakes,
15th.
man.
Valencia's 15th.
Like, fuck. Like, are you serious? And they're probably home too, aren't they?
But
Let me check.
yeah, they are home.
They're home. Like, give me a
Yeah.
break.
And the
Fuck's
thing
sakes.
is,
They're gonna
like,
rest all their guys,
but Madrid's no,
I don't
Madrid's in
know.
or
the
maybe not
middle.
because they're in the title. They're in the
Yeah,
title
Yeah,
they're
race.
yeah.
3 points. They're 3 points behind, so they have to play some guys. And the fact that they played
But they did. They
120,
rested a lot of guys last week. Apparently, after the international break, in their first game back, they did rest a lot of
yeah,
guys.
and
But
they
we'll
they
see.
rested them against Sociedad as well. And then once they went down, that's when everybody came on. That's what I'm saying. It did
Yeah.
bode well for us that they had to play 120 minutes, because a lot of the guys were playing in the international break and they were playing heavy minutes. So, do I think that all of them are going to start in this game against Valencia? No, but I do think there's going to be a significant portion of the players that are going to play. Because they are in the title race. They're 3 points behind Barca and they can't lose any more ground. So, um, but yeah. Any any closing thoughts? Anything? I know we already teased the next pod that we're gonna do the full breakdown for the Madrid tie. We're gonna review all the weekend games. We may go through the weekend games a little bit quicker because we do want to spend a big portion of the time
Hmm.
reviewing that Madrid tie. But any closing thoughts from yourself, CJ or Laurent?
I'll let CJ go first.
Yeah, just quickly, I've been looking forward to this Real Madrid tie for some weeks now, ever since it's been announced that we have Real Madrid. That's the one game I've been looking forward to. And obviously a little bit of my, excitement has been fucking hampered again by the fact that there's another fucking injury to a key player. But hey, man, I still got the time off work, so we'll be there, both legs, both ties. I'll be there live and direct with some little bit of hope. I'm like you, Mehrdad. I was actually really confident for the first leg, at least, when knowing Saka was back, and if we had Big Gabby. But now that Big Gabby's out, that confidence has gone down a bit. So yeah, man, we'll be there either way. The next two podcasts, us breaking it down and talking about it, is what I'm here for. We're here to give you guys the content and talk about football, and I've been looking forward to just talking about this Real Madrid tie in more detail for the last little bit now, so I can't wait till we get stuck into that and talk about how we think we can get past them and what we think our strengths and weaknesses and so on. So yeah, man, looking forward to it.
Laurent, final words with you,
Yeah,
sir.
good stuff, good stuff. No, I mean, beyond yeah, that matchup there, just excited for Champions League football, right? The return of that, some big games ahead
Hmm.
on both sides of the bracket. Truly, at this point, man, honestly, I like, yeah, there's favorites, but I feel like any team has a good chance, if they come in and play right. Some solid heavyweights, right, left standing. And yeah, no, so we'll be glad to cover that for you guys as well. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just excited for that. Yeah.
Well, we will see you guys on Monday. As always, thank you for listening. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get notified whenever we have a posting. Leave a comment, leave a review. We appreciate you. Um, and on that bombshell, see you guys on Monday.
Peace.